Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the show. I've got Eric Winther from the Pikeminnow Reward Program here. Every time we have him in, there's always a question that I have, and Eric, you already know, I'm going to ask you this at some point in time, but how much money did somebody make in the last few months chasing Pikeminnow under the Pikeminnow Reward Program? But before we get there, it's good to see you, sir.
Hey, likewise, Owen.
I always ask you the same question. How you been, and how you been doing anything fun?
A little bit of salmon fishing.
Okay.
Just general tags for hunting and watching sports.
Okay, very good.
A little bit of that.
Are you an NFL fan?
A little bit.
A little bit?
I went to a Mariners game last Sunday.
Oh, very cool. So did Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Except for the outcome.
Oh, well, I guess if you're a Mariners fan. But anyway, so I'm a Rangers fan. Anyway. Anyway, I'm an NFL guy. That's really the way that I go. Okay, so the interesting part of what we're going to talk about today, which doesn't happen all the time, typically the Pikeminnow Reward Program ends the end of September, but you guys saw fit to extend that for a little bit. Can you explain to everyone why that is, and is that going to be a productive week?
Yeah, I mean, basically we're trying to get 10 to 20% of the population as we go through the May through September season. Mm-hmm. Well, our estimates were that we were on the low end of that target range.
Okay.
And we still had some dollars in the reward fund, and so the decision was made that, you know, let's do another extra 2 weeks, which technically ended up being 12 days.
Okay.
But that means we got one more week from today to go out, and thankfully it's the best time of year from a CPUE point of view. I mean, there's really some great fishing below the Dalles and below Bonneville. Awesome. If you look, when we look at the numbers, you'll see on the CPUEs for those stations, they're way up.
Really?
Yeah.
And so that's catch per angler?
Yep, catch per angler per day.
Per day. Okay. So overall, this year, it started out really good, and we could kind of tell by the numbers. Again, we've been doing this a long time. You can see the numbers and the locations. Things petered out, but they ramped back up. Is that normal for that?
In recent years, yeah, we have that double peak. So our best week of the whole season was here about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so just like salmon, you get that water temperature starts to cool down a little bit just when it turns and the bite turns on. Mm-hmm. And boy, there's just, I mean, right now there's just some awesome fishing for, I try to tell people if you want to learn, this is a great time to get out there and learn, just because it's relatively, well, it's never easy. You know how that is.
Well, yeah, it's fishing still.
It's fishing.
Yeah.
But this is the best time of year. Conditions are great. Fish are biting. There's lots of them there.
Mm-hmm. And that's because of the time of year or what the salmon are doing? Because the salmon do change.
It's all kind of tied together.
Okay.
So, because the salmon in the river, I mean, whether there's eggs that spill out or carcasses that are filleted, I mean, Pikeminnow like to pick away at the carcasses.
Sure.
And they need to eat to get ready for winter. I mean, they got to build up their fat reserves and so on. There's baby shad in the river, all that.
Yeah.
And it all kind of comes together. Water temps just dropped down into the 60s. They've been up in the 70s for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it all kind of comes together and just makes some awesome catch opportunities where these fish are congregated. I've talked to several of our top anglers that have had 100-plus days, multiple 100-plus days in the last couple weeks here.
Really?
So get out there.
Okay, well, I'm going to save my favorite question for him for a minute, but let's take a look at some of these numbers here for this past week. And I mean, you start to see a very consistent thing each year. Always starts out at the best at the Dalles, and then it weans out, and then things kind of migrate up or down river. But then by the end of the season, the end of September, it's that east side of the state, Boyer Park, some of those that turn out to be the strong ones at the very end. But that's not the case this year.
Not
but
so much this year, yeah.
We'll go through these. You got Cathlamet, which is about the lowest part of the system, at 1,100, and then you can see the numbers not all that great as you work your way upriver. And as we take a look at the next slide, there it is, Washougal, which has been kind of a really weird thing for me. It's so close to Chinook Landing, but it just seems like it's more people that are going in and out or checking in and out at Washougal, because it's the same zone, same area that they're all fishing. Would that be accurate?
It is.
Okay. Washougal at 1794, very good number for this time of year. But you had mentioned earlier, prior to the show, that there's a little bit of an anomaly here. Let's, computer system's got to be super slow this morning. The Dalles, that is crazy. Usually the Dalles, in the last couple of weeks even, it's been 18, 20, very, very small, but 2,500. What in the heck happened there?
Well, you know how fishing goes. Everybody knows that there's no fish there. Well, until there is.
Okay.
So
fish are where you find them.
So
right?
Some people, a few of the anglers started getting into some fish. Even the bank anglers are doing really well. So just here this last few weeks, I know of at least one catch that was a 300 fish day.
Out of the Dalles?
At the Dalles.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really kind of weird that we don't usually get that, but glad to have it this year since the middle part was just so not unremarkable, put it that way.
Yeah.
We're finishing strong.
Yeah, you certainly are. That's why you obviously made that extension. Boyer Park at 105 typically would be 4 digits this time of year. And then if you take a look at Greenbelt, which is a latter one that kind of opens 37 for 2740 or 74 total. And then when we get to the last slide, we're going to show you how many people actually participated. The effort was 338 for this past week. 12,212 was actually, that's the year-to-date, excuse me, amount of people. And then total for this past week was 7438. How is that overall for the last week?
That's a good number.
That's a good number.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If we can get anywhere over 6,000, 7,000, we're doing good, which we probably will this current week and hopefully next week as well. I think we're going to end up about 150,000 roughly for the season. And I would point out, don't forget swallows up there. Way up there on the Snake, that's pretty good too.
Interesting.
So,
and there's folks that are over there. I was just over in the east side, and there was several people that I ran into over there that watch the show regularly. So for all of you over there on the east side, thanks for that. Okay, so here's the question that I always love to ask. There's always the top person.
Yep.
And it turns out that there's, just a handful that seem to be there each year. Because remember, this is a full-time job. Now, it might not be 12 months out of the year, but when this season kicks off and then ultimately ends in September or this year, a week into October or more, there's always that top person. Well, they always seem to break 6 digits, meaning over $100,000. How much is this top person going to, I know it's still going, but where do you think they're going to end up at?
Well, I was just talking to the top angler a few days ago up at the Dalles, because that's where
one of the reasons why that number was so big.
That's why they're there.
Okay.
And I asked him that exact question. So he pulls out his phone and he's got it all calculated, and he says, well, as of today's catch that I just turned in, he's at just under 15,000 fish.
Wow.
For the season.
Wow.
So you just do a little rough math, and he's got to be pushing, 150,000 at this point with a week to go.
With a week to go.
Yep.
Now that guy, he's fishing every day. He's up and down the river every day. He knows exactly what's going on. He's starting at sunup. He's doing it to the whole extent. I mean, this
meticulous records. I mean, I tell people his boat is customized. It's almost like the Batmobile of Pikeminnow.
There you go. All right.
He's got custom live wells and lights.
The Pikeminnow. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Very amazing.
Well, obviously he takes it serious.
He does. He's very great angler.
So for folks that might be watching, Eric, that haven't participated in this, how long does that season go?
The season runs from May through September. That's the standard season. This year we opened a couple stations early, so middle of April, and then, as you mentioned, extended at a few stations here into October. So technically, if you were out and about, you could do this 6 months instead of the normal 5.
Gotcha.
If you were willing to go.
But at the very least, 5 to 6 months worth of very serious work. I mean, this is not, yes, it's fishing, but he ain't doing it for fun. I bet he has a little bit of fun there for maybe 15, 20 minutes a day, and then after that is work. But for 150 grand, that's a pretty good way to make a living.
And all the people that are doing really well, I mean, remember, they've been doing this a number of years.
Long time,
It takes your average angler, even if you're good at bass fishing or salmon or steelhead, really takes 2, 3, 4 years of really trying before you start to get things figured out, because it's fishing. I mean, there's a lot to...
There's tricks to it. There's timing.
There's tides. There's wind. I mean, there's times, meticulous records, the new equipment we all have access to, like the bow mount trolling motor with the spotlight. Wow.
Yeah,
that's like a game changer.
Yeah. And then you throw in there some other technology that can give you some of the other advantages as well. Yeah. But, okay, so all those fish, you get up to $10 per, right? But sometimes you run across a fish that has a little special little noodle tag on it. Show everybody what that actually is.
Something like this?
Yeah. Now, I want to see that thing. Now, I've actually had a chance. I've never caught a pike minnow with a spaghetti tag in it before. I've caught numerous sturgeon over the years with one of these things, and it was absolute panic mode. If you ever noticed one on a sturgeon, you're like, oh my God, get it in the boat. Could you imagine having one with this on it? This is a $500 reward tag. Now, I love that. I mean, obviously, it's something when somebody reels out, and what would you do? I would panic, man. I would literally be flipping out trying to make sure that thing ends up in the boat, because you know that's going to be the one that you lose, right?
Yeah, make sure you net it. Or
Yes, I am not screwing around. Tell everybody how many of those you do, and you said that you might even be tagging some fish this week.
Well, I'm going to try to get a few more out this week before the 12th. We got, I don't know, 10 or 12 tags put out last week below Bonneville Dam, and one of our good anglers at Washougal happened to find one of those tags.
And we do have permission from him to actually use his photo. I love the edge gear, though. See, that's what he's doing. He's catching pike minnow to buy himself the best gear on the planet. But you can see there, that is a tagged pike minnow. You can
$500 fish.
$500 fish. I'm telling you right now.
He was really happy.
I bet he was. Yeah, I can see. Let me give you that back before I put that in my pocket. Not that it's worth anything to me right now.
Yeah.
But very interesting. So yes, of course, you can get up to $10 per fish, and then every so often you might run across, rarely, I would say, run across a tagged fish worth $500 right there. On the spot. Okay, so we're running out of time. Last question I have. So for folks that are watching that have never participated in this, what's the best way for them to kind of do their research before it kicks off again in May?
So go to our website at pikeminnow.org. There's a lot of information there. There's catch maps. There's some videos. There's statistics for all the different stations, all the different years, because there is a seasonality to it. And then come talk to us at the sports shows when they're in town.
Right.
You know, we'll be at all the sports shows, and Facebook. We got a pretty good pike minnow Facebook page, so that'll give you a little more up to date information. And with any luck, we'll enter the 21st century and do some of that other stuff here, maybe in 26, the Snapchat and the Instagram and all that good stuff.
Sure. Give them stuff that's real time on what's going on.
I'm showing my age, I know. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all right. Hey, I'm the same way. Well, first things first, Eric, it's great to see you again.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in and sharing the insight. You still have through this upcoming weekend to go after them. It sounds like the fishing is really good right now. Maybe you've already done this and you maybe took a break and just figured that it was over. But if you still want to get out and make yourself some extra dough, this could very well be the time to do so. Eric, again, thanks for coming in. All right, we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to have Pat Abel from the North Coast chasing Chinook and silvers as we speak. And for what I understand, what Ryan tells me is he's had a little success already this morning. We'll find out how it's going in real time in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Chevy Silverado and the impressive Turbo Max engine. Flex your muscle with the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Official truck of Outdoor GPS.